What is up everybody and welcome back to the Maths Guide. Today we're going to look at how to turn fractions into decimals. Let's go. So what do we need to remember today? Well, we're going to remember that a fraction is basically a division question anyway. So if we look at this first example here, 2 over 5, what that basically is saying is 2 divided by 5. And 2 divided by 5 could be represented in our bus stop method, where I have a 2, but I'm dividing it by 5. So 5 would be my divisor, and 2 my dividend inside the bus stop. So I'm trying to find out how many groups of 5 can be taken from 2. Well, if I get 2 marbles, I can't get a group of 5 away, so I know my answer is going to be a fraction, and a fraction of a whole number is a decimal. So how are we going to get a decimal from this? Well, I'm going to bring in my decimal point, don't forget to put it on the answer line as well, and I'm going to add a 0 in my 10th column. Now this does not change the value of my 2, it just allows me a place to carry the 2. When I first do how many groups of 5 are there in 2, well there are 0, but now I can carry the 2 across after my decimal place and ask myself how many 5s are there in 20? Well I have 4. So my answer to 2 divided by 5 is 0.4, and 0.4 is less than 1. So I know that it's also a fraction, and therefore 2/5 is equivalent to 0.4. That's a simple one. Let's ramp it up now with a slightly harder one. 9/25. Well, I have 9, and I'm dividing it by 25. So how many 25s are there in 9? Well, 0. But I now need somewhere to put my 9 when I carry it over. So I'm going to put my decimal in place and add a 0 into my 10th column, which again does not change the value of my 9, but it allows me to now bring my 9 across to say how many 25s are there in 90, and I have 3 because I can get to 75, 25, 50, 75, and that leaves me with 15 left over, so I need somewhere to put that 15. Well, guess what? I can just add another 0 now in the hundreds column, put my 15 in front of it, and I can say how many 25s are there in 150, and I have 6. So my answer to the equivalent of 9/25 as a decimal is 0.36. Let's have a look at question 3. 3/16. So 3/16 would mean that I have 3 inside my bus stop and I'm sharing it between 16. How many 16s in 3? Again, 0. And we're always going to get this 0 in the first place, aren't we, if we think about it, because we're never going to have a whole number, because a whole number would be a positive number and therefore more than 1, and we know that a fraction is not more than 1, a fraction is less than 1. So we should always see that 0 in the first place. Then I can put my decimal, add my 0 in the 10th column, don't forget to put the decimal in the answer line as well. How many 16s now in 30? Well, I would have 1 and 14 remainders, so put a 0 into the hundreds column, put 14. How many 16s in 140? I have 8, because I can get to 128. And if I'm struggling with that, what I could do is just draw out my 16 times table down here, 16, 32, blah, 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 until I got to 128. And therefore my next one would be 142, and therefore too many. So I know I get to 128 in 8 groups of 16, and I'm left with 12. But where can I put my 12? That's right, you've guessed it, add another 0. Put the 12 in front. How many 16s are there in 120? Well, I can get 7, but this time I have only 8 left over. Add it to another 0. How many 16s in 80? I have 5. So my answer to 3/16, the equivalent decimal, is 0.1875. Pretty challenging, that one. Okay, now let's look at something very strange. Question 4, 2/3. Well, 2/3 would be 2 in my bus stop divided by 3. How many 3s are in 2? That's right, 0. Carry the 2 across. How many 3s are there in 20? There are 6. Don't forget to put my decimal. And there will be 2 left over. Add another 0 in the hundreds column, put back my 2. How many 3s in 20? 6, with 2 left over. Hopefully we can see we've got a bit of a pattern here. I'm just going to end up with loads and loads of 6s. So what can I do? Well, I don't need to carry on because it's always going to be 6. So I can stop after 2, put these little dots above my 6s, and my answer would be 0.66 recurring. And those little dots show people that that number carries on forever. And the reason that is because we can never really evenly distribute 2/3. We can get very, very close, but it will never be even. And we can see that same pattern slightly differently in this next question. We have 17/11ths. And 17/11ths is actually interesting, isn't it? Because I have now an improper fraction. My numerator is larger than my denominator, which means I'm actually going to have 1 and a decimal here. So let's have a little look. So same thing again, draw at our bus stop. 17/11ths means I'm going to have to put my 17 inside the bus stop, 11 outside, and simply start exactly how we did before. How many 11s are there in 1? Well, 0. Carry the 1 across. How many 11s are there in 17? Well, now we have 1. That's how we get our whole number. But I have some left over because I'm trying to get a 17. I only got to 11, so I have 6 left over. Where am I going to put them? That's right, I need a decimal. So put my 6 over here, put my decimal on the answer line as well. So now I have 1 point something. Well, how many 11s are there in 60? Let's help ourselves out by drawing the 11 times table. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66. So I can get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I can't get to 66, it's too many. So I have a 5, but I had 5 left over because I managed to get to 55 and I needed to get to 60. So let's put our 5 with another 0 in the hundredths column. Now I have how many 11s are there in 50? Well, I can get to 1, 2, 3, 4 with 6 left over. Put a 0. And we've already had this question. How many 11s are there in 60? There are 5 with 4 left over. And what we should be able to see here is I'm now getting this pattern of 5, 4, 5, 4, and that's just going to go on forever as well. So what can I do? Put my 2 dots on top, and it will show that these two numbers are repeating. So the equivalent decimal to 11/17 is 1.5454. And the reason we have this 1 as a whole number before is the fact that the 17 is larger than my 11, and therefore I have an improper fraction, a fraction that has a numerator greater than the denominator. We're nearly there. Well done for sticking around. Final one, 17/20ths. Let's just simply put out our bus stop. 17 inside, 20 outside. How many 20s in 17? 0. Put a decimal. How many 20ths in 170? I can get 8 with 10 left over. Put another 0. Add the 10. How many 20s in 100? I have 5. Nothing left over, so my clean answer is 0.85. Whew, well done for hanging around for all of those. But now it's your turn. Have a little go at converting these fractions into decimals. Some of them are harder than others, so work on them at your own pace. Press pause on the video now, put your answers in the comment section. And there you have it. That was how to convert fractions into decimals. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, head on over to themathsshelter.com where you're going to find loads more videos to help you with everything you need to know about maths. But for now guys, see you in another video. Peace out.